So you guys ever had a comforting Nihari, lamb Nihari that is? Listen, the name Nihari refers to the masala, and pretty much it's a beautiful blend of spices. We saute up some onions in my beautiful fat. I have my masala on standby. This is my lamb shoulder here. And at this point, it's all seasoned up with that Nihari masala that I did earlier on, with a little bit of yogurt so it tenderizes the lamb shoulder. I fry up those onions, they're nice and caramelized and crispy. And what you want to do is get that nice caramelization going on, take them off, and then we go again in the pot. A little more fat, and this is where we sear up that lamb shoulder. Listen, when it comes to lamb shoulder, I'll always choose it over a lamb leg any day. Lamb shoulder is so superior, it's cheaper and more flavor. Look at that crust. On all sides, this is what you want to develop. Crust means color, color means flavor. Always remember that. We're going to remove that, put it aside, and this is where we add the Nihari masala. Cumin, nigella, cinnamon, mace, all these beautiful spices inside there. It's toasted nicely into that fat. And then we add a little bit of stock to cook the masala. Now, the word nihari comes from the Arabic word nahar, which means morning, which means that this dish was pretty much eaten in the mornings for nourishment and strength and to also keep you warm and comforting. So at this point in time, when the oil separates, we pretty much add in our ginger, garlic, and cinnamon, and we place back in the lamb shoulder inside here. This is a braising method, so it's going to cook low and slow inside there. Stock goes in, a little piece of my sugar. This is known as jaggery for a nice sweet finish, unrefined cane sugar. You turn it over and allow that beautiful stock to cover it nicely. You want to cover that pot and bring it up to a simmer. This is what pretty much happens at this point in time, low and slow for about 3 hours. Of course, you're going to flip it halfway through to allow those ribs and the front meat to cook nice and tender. The idea is that we allow that to cook slowly. Some flour and water goes together. This is a thickening agent that is used for the sauce. So I make that and I put it aside. Equal proportions of flour and water pretty much. As you can see, that meat is starting to pull away from the bones, and that is a good indication. I don't want it falling off completely. I still want some give, some tenderness. So I take it off and I pull all the meat from the ribs, from the shoulder, take it out and cut it into nice little cubes at this point in time. Once you get that together, pretty much you just put them aside, and look how beautiful that looks. You want to actually regenerate your sauce, get it nice and warm again, because we are going to place these pieces of meat back into the sauce. So once it comes to a simmer, that flour and water mixture will now be added to thicken up that gravy. You get a nice viscosity going on, and then obviously you would then insert your pieces of lamb back inside to cook for an additional 30 to 35 minutes. Of course, those caramelized onions go in to thicken up really nicely. It's so deep with flavor at this point in time. All that great sweetness and texture is starting to form. Look how brilliant that looks. At this point in time, pretty much the surwa is epic. We add a little bit of salt inside here and a touch of cream, and this is going to give it a really nice, rich, velvety, smooth finish. Look at that. Now I love to eat this with naan bread. You could have it with rice, chapati, roti, but me, some garlic naan and some avocado was the way to go. This is comfort food for me, guys. Try lamb nihari when you go to your Indian restaurant next. You'll love it. Chef Jason out.